Hello, mamas to be, maybe fathers to be, whatever the case is, I'm so happy you guys are here. And if you guys are here, the chances or likelihood that you are having a baby is pretty high. So congratulations. So today I'm going to be talking about some of the things that I wish I knew before having a baby. Let's get right to it because I hope you stay to the end, because at the end I'm going to be sharing with you guys all of the little goodies that I'm going to be giving to you or the lucky winner in my first giveaway. The first thing that I wish I knew, or I guess thought of before having a baby, was what I was going to be doing about birth control. And it's kind of funny that that's the very first thing that I'm actually talking about is birth control, because obviously you haven't even had a baby yet potentially, and you know, the first thing that I'm mentioning is figuring out or thinking about birth control. So this is something that my midwife brought to my attention before I had my baby, but I never really took it to heart. I was like, what are you talking about? That's the last thing on my mind. But it is definitely important and something to certainly think about and consider, and maybe have a plan in place for, you know, after you have your baby. Because for me, I didn't really take it too seriously, and I got pregnant when my firstborn was about 8 or 9 months old, and it was not really planned. Obviously, I would have probably waited longer. Now, that's not to say I am so happy with my second baby, of course. I would not change anything for the world for that. So, but I should have probably considered it. So just something to think about, throwing it out there for you. Think about what your plans are going to be in regards to birth control, because they tell you that you can get pregnant, you know, not maybe immediately after you gave birth, but obviously you're probably not going to be in the mood to want to create another human life until a while. But they say after a couple months, or you don't even have to have a period, I think is what they say, that you can get pregnant, you still ovulate even while you're breastfeeding and that type of thing. So just educate yourself and think about it. The next thing is, you know, becoming a new parent, especially your first time around, you think that you just have to have everything on that shelf in Bye Bye Baby you need. No, that is not the case. And I think my husband helped me with this, because he's very minimalistic and stuff. So he really helped me kind of focus on the just essentials, and helping me realize that you really don't need everything. You don't need a baby warmer or a baby warmer. A baby warmer. No. You don't need a baby wipe warmer. You don't necessarily need, if you're thinking about doing formula, I have learned that there's formula Keurigs out there. My mind was blown. Oh my gosh, it basically pre-measures and spits the powder out into the bin, mixes it. I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs to it. But you know what? You save the money, use that money towards something else. Diapers, for example. You do not need a formula Keurig. You don't need the fanciest bassinet. I know there's bassinets out there that are hundreds or maybe even thousands of dollars. Literally, you just need something very simple, a bassinet to go by your bedside or the baby's room or whatever. That's all you need. The other thing is, you do not need a bunch of brand new clothes. Yeah, get a few things ready to go, but you do not need hundreds of pairs of clothes. And what I would recommend is, you know, especially if you have a community of, you know, friends and women around you who've had babies, see if you can just borrow clothes from them. I'm sure they'd be happy to hand you clothes from their previous babies. That's what we did. I was blessed with my friend Melanie, who gave me tons of clothes. We both had boys our first time around, and she would just hand me down those clothes, and it was such a blessing. So, and of course, you're not wasting, you know, money on new clothes. You're reusing clothes. You're you know, those clothes are going to be well loved, well used, and they're going to get their use out of them. So if you go that route, do not spend a ton of money on clothes. One thing I am so thankful that I agreed to was having a visiting nurse after baby was born. So my visiting nurse came over about 2 days after I came home, I believe, 2 to 3 days, somewhere in there. They schedule it with you. That was the most useful individual that I experienced or interacted with the whole time. Now, everyone's experience is going to be different. And just to let you know, I worked with a midwife and they were great and everything. I delivered with the midwives. It was great. It was amazing. But I am so thankful that I had somebody come to my home in the mess, in the craziness of being at home with a newborn. And I was just so thankful for that, to having another human being come to visit me and meet my needs, ask me questions, help answer questions I had, check on my baby. It was so important, because one thing is, and obviously you have no idea how it's going to be because you haven't had a baby yet, potentially. But your mental status after having a baby it's just in a different place. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go in a lot of detail, but you're just in a whole different place. Obviously, this is a huge transition. You have a new life in your home. Anyway, I feel like having that visiting nurse, she was so great, just so knowledgeable, so spent time with me. She was there for at least an hour, if not more. Just like really made me feel like, you know, she cared about me and my baby and everything. And one simple thing she said to me, because I was having issues like with breastfeeding, just super painful nipples. And if you breastfeed, this is definitely something you want to kind of prepare yourself for, because it's not as easy as it might come off to be, I guess, or people make it seem that it is. She basically, and one of the things was my little one was pacifying on me. So like just using me as like a human pacifier. And she's like, no, you can use a pacifier. That was my fear. I had a fear of using pacifiers. And she's like, absolutely use a pacifier. Don't let that little baby just suck your nipples until they're bleeding, which did happen. She just reassured me that that was okay. So if they offer a visiting nurse, take it, because you will need that interaction. You'll have questions. Like I said, it just made me really feel like special, and I got to express some issues on my mind and just the way I felt, emotions and all of that. So, and like I said, she helped me reassure me that, you know, it was okay to use a pacifier, just something as simple as that. So take a visiting nurse if they offer it. So that kind of segues into the next thing, is just the mental health component. Like postpartum depression, the baby blues, they are the real deal. And you can actually have postpartum depression, or I guess it can initiate all the way up until like a year after your baby comes. So just kind of be prepared. Try to maybe do a little research on that. I am thankful that I only had maybe like several weeks of like baby blues, or just kind of crazy weird emotions. I'm not gonna say I cried multiple times. That's totally normal. One thing that was interesting was that my husband thankfully was home with me for a while too. But I felt this sense of loss that my husband, this is so weird. It felt like my husband died. Like that's the only way to describe it. The emotions, the feelings that I felt was that my husband died and I was here with this baby, and I don't know how else to describe it. That was the emotion. That's how I felt. Even though he was there with me, he was still with, you know, he loved me. Like he helped take care of the baby and me and everything. That's just the way your brain goes, okay? So just be prepared for the mental health aspect of it. This is unfortunately something that is not really, there's no preparedness for, and it's unfortunate because you really do, I think our caregivers, our providers, they will mention it to you, but they don't really prepare you for it. So be ready, be prepared, be ready to be vocal, share your feelings, talk to your significant other, your families, you know, your mom and dad, if they're still around, you know, friends. just be open, be prepared, and do not be afraid to share your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and where you're at. Just don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, there's someone there. I'm sure there's hotlines out there. There's Facebook groups, whatever it takes. You know, if you have a church, reach out, okay? You are not alone in this, okay? In these emotions and these feelings, you're not alone, and someone will be there to help. So the next one I already touched on was, it's okay to use pacifiers. It's okay to use pacifiers. My first one, it was easy, literally, to get rid of it. It was not that big of a deal. Don't worry about that now. Use a pacifier. They are a tremendous help. And even I think that visiting nurse did tell me that using pacifiers overnight even, I don't know if there's a ton of research, but she said it has helped reduce SID, sudden infant death syndrome. I think she said there's some correlation there. So regardless of that, don't be afraid to use pacifiers. Use them. They will be helpful. All right, this is a big one for me. Co-sleeping. For my firstborn, I was like, there's no way in hell that my baby's coming in bed with me. Absolutely not. And I was thankful that I didn't have to. I used the bassinet. I did not let them fall asleep with me falling asleep. It worked out, okay, the first time around. However, my second time with this whole thing, for me to get any sleep at all, my baby had to sleep with me. He would wake up every hour on the hour to nurse, to do whatever. Just, they're newborns, they need you. So even though they tell you, do not, don't let them sleep with you, don't let them fall asleep. It happened. Okay. It happened. And looking back, I'm okay with it. Thankfully nothing happened. But I needed sleep, and that's the biggest thing with having a baby is that, that lack of sleep. So, I had to do what it took to get me some sleep, to let baby sleep a little bit longer. And it's going to happen. It will happen potentially, and just be open to it. Okay. But just be as safe as you can be. Okay. So this is something that thankfully we had friends that experienced this, with daycare. They told us, shop for daycare early, get your spot early, because literally in our area especially, there is a waiting list for almost every daycare that we looked at. There is literally a wait list. So get out there, get on the move, check out those daycares, figure all of that out well in advance, whatever, if you are going to be using daycare, of course. Get your foot in the door, get your little one on that list, especially to the one that you're really wanting to go with, because that is obviously very important, because eventually, if you're a working mom like myself, you got to go back to work and you got to get your kid into daycare. Prepare yourself to have meals on hand. Freezer meals, whether you go buy them at the store, make some of your own. Breakfast burritos, just be prepared, have easy, ready to go things, snacks, granola bars, protein bars, yogurts, tuna packets, peanut butter, nut butters, avocados, those good healthy fats, especially if you're breastfeeding, or even if you're not, if you're not breastfeeding, you need the energy, right? So, just have really healthy, nutritious, ready to go foods on hand available to you. One thing is, I am super lucky. At the time, I had a church, and there was a team of women, or actually one lady that put together like a meal train. It was basically 10 meals, 10 days of meals. And different people in my church would sign up, and every day, basically, I would have a meal delivered directly to my home, ready to go usually. Or ready to be, heated up or baked off or whatever. It was amazing. And actually one of my friends made me those frozen breakfast burritos, which were, oh my gosh, just amazing. If there is a good time to join a church, now is the time, you guys. If you're pregnant, join a church, because obviously for the spiritual benefit, but for the community side of things, because there is just a great community of women in churches. And like I said, they set me up with 10 meals, which was a huge blessing. So get yourself hooked up to a church, and that will be a great resource for you as far as meals go. There are, I will say too, if you have like a community of friends or whatever, you know, they can do, there's like a website out there like mealtrain.com or something. That's another great option to do. So definitely take advantage of that. So I'm just going to briefly again touch on the breastfeeding part. If you decide to go that route, it is hard freaking work. It is no joke. Breastfeeding is not like you see in the pictures or in Hollywood or whatever. It's legit. It's hard. You know, some people do have a little bit easier, but for myself, especially my first time around, even though I did see a few lactation consultants, which use those, definitely, especially in the hospital before you go home, for whatever reason, it was hard. And it was probably normal because I think my boobs literally just blistered, they scabbed, they bled. My baby spit out blood one time and it freaked me out, but it was from my nipple. It was from literally my boob, from the scabbing, my nipple. But after a few weeks, it got better. Okay, so don't be discouraged. Try not to give up. Breastfeeding is great. It's great bonding experience. Obviously, you're providing nutrition that is formulated for your baby. I'm such a big breastfeeding proponent. I definitely think if you can try to get through those first few weeks and beyond. But whatever it is, if you decide to do it for just a few days, or a few weeks, few months, few years, that's great regardless. But if you go the formula route, that's what it's there for. Okay, I had to introduce formula into my second child's bottles because I just I couldn't produce enough breast milk. So it's there. That's what it's there for. If you go the formula route, no shame there at all. A fed baby is a happy baby, a happy mom. That is ultimately what it boils down to. But if you do go the breastfeeding route, it is some hard work. It is definitely some hard work, especially if you're like me too. I'm a full-time employee. I pumped at work 3 times a day for many months, and I'm thankful I was able to do that. But just be prepared. Try to have all the ointments available, coconut oil. There's like booby cream and all that good stuff. Hot pads, I'm not going to go into detail there, but just be prepared. It's hard work. Have all the essentials on hand for those boobs, those nipples, because you're going to need it. All right. So this is when they say, I'm so sick of hearing this, sleep when baby sleeps. Hell freaking no. There's absolutely, usually there's just no way that's going to happen. Okay. Especially for me, I was never the greatest sleeper to begin with. Napping was super hard for me during the day. Anyway, it's just not possible, okay? Just keep that in mind. It's not as easy as they say sleep when baby sleeps, because when baby sleeps, you want to get some stuff done around the house, you want to hop in the shower, you want to have your coffee, you want to eat, laundry, all of that. But, obviously do your best. If you can sleep when baby sleeps, if you can get your spouse involved, your significant other involved to help, family, friends, to get yourself some sleep, you got to do what you can, because sleep is so important. Absolutely, pretty much number one thing for a new mom is going to be some good quality sleep when you can get it. All right, so self-care is a big one, okay? Do what you can, whatever makes you feel good, and back to kind of a sense of self, if that makes sense. Of course, you're a new mom, you have a new role, but you want to kind of think about ways that will make you feel more like yourself, if that makes any sense. Because again, it's a huge transition. You literally were your own independent human being one day. The next day, you have a little baby to take care of who needs 100% of your attention, and you lose yourself, right, in a way. So find time, if you can, little things here and there to take care of yourself. A bath, whether it's only for 10 minutes, painting your toenails, reading a book, doing something that is quality time for you to spend alone with yourself, whether it's 5 minutes, a day, or if you can get away for 20 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever, taking a walk or whatever it is, find ways to take care of yourself. It's going to be so very important, especially for your mental health. All right, this is the last little thing here. This is a bonus one because this actually happened to me last week, so a few days ago. Be prepared to have to literally physically remove poop from your baby's anus. I can't believe I just said that. My baby, he's older now. He's what, 14 months, going on 15 months old. He's, for whatever reason, has been a little bit on the constipated side. And literally, I was gonna change his diaper. I looked, there was little round turds stuck in his butt, like hard as rocks. I'm not joking, you guys. And the poor little guy was so uncomfortable, crying. I just had to do what I could to help him pass those little rocks, those little poop nuggets from his butt, because there was no other way of him doing it himself. He clearly couldn't do it himself, so I had to help him. So I had no idea that I was going to be a poop remover for my little baby. So be prepared that you might have to go that route. So anyway, that was just a little fun bonus there for you guys. Okay, so let's get to it. The giveaway. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. La, la, la. Okay, let's get to it. So a few details I want to touch on really quick is I can only right now at this point in time just ship to individuals who reside in the United States. In order to enter this, comment down below what your biggest fear is about becoming a new parent. And then with that, so comment down below, because again, I want an interaction with you guys. I want to just have a good discussion with y'all, and I want to learn from you guys and everyone to just interact with each other, basically. But with that, there is a link down below. Click on that link, copy, and paste your answer into that form, that entry form. That will be the way that you're gonna actually enter this giveaway. So let me share with you guys some of the items, or all of the items rather. This is like, I'm so excited. Let me back up, make some room for myself here. Here's the goodies. So let's just take a peek at them. You can't go without chocolate, okay? This is some, I wish I bought one of these for myself. I did not. So we got some Godiva chocolate. We got some RX bars, simple ingredients. There's 12 grams of protein. So you got some protein bars here with, again, simple ingredients. For any moms that are going to be breastfeeding, this, I do like this stuff. And even if you're not, I don't know, I like this stuff. It's got a good flavor to it. But it's got fennel and fenugreek in it, which has been shown to help kind of boost your breast milk production. If you're not breastfeeding, no big deal. Just go ahead, give it to somebody that you know that would like this, or a mom that's gonna be breastfeeding or is breastfeeding. You get it. Give it to someone who will actually use it. All right, my favorite chapstick in the world here. This is my all-time favorite. The best chapstick to have on hand. Literally keeps your lips really moisturized for a long time. All right, we've got some face masks for those mamas. Again, the self-care is super important. We got some thirsty hands. It's a hand mask, actually. This was cute. It says flourish. If you can read. Excuse me, I got burps today. Jeez Louise. So just a little zip up thing, you know, you can put, I don't know, pacifiers in there, little snacks or whatever, throw it in your diaper bag, you know, throw it in your purse or whatever the case is. You got a little bag on hand for you with really pretty print. This one is just like, I don't know, I love it. It's just a little picture frame. I don't know, it's mesmerizing to me. I literally could just like play with this all day long. It's just super pretty. For a little picture of your newborn. All right, this was super cool. I can't believe I came across this. So basically what this is it's just like a little block. I don't know, how come, there we go. That it's for self-care. So this is just a little self-care challenge cube. That's what it is for you guys. So this is super fun. I love it. I love it. So hopefully you guys will get some good use out of that. All right, we got some Murad Environmental Shield Essential C Cleanser. So that's just a little face wash for you. Again, part of that pampering that you need to do for yourself. One of my favorite brands for shampoo, conditioner is, what is it, Beauty and Planet here? Yeah, so this is sulfate-free shampoo and conditioner. It's the coconut water and mimosa flower scent. But I love this brand. Their stuff is just super, it smells amazing, and it's like a rich lather. I absolutely love it. If you can get the body wash, go and get some body wash because that stuff's really good too. And then with that, I've got the Love Beauty and Planet, it's hand cream. So same brand. Okay, and then I love these. I wish I got some for myself. We've got some just simple scrunchies for your hair. You're gonna need to be putting it up pretty much every friggin' day. Keep the hair away from the little hands and everything. But these are cute, and they're just kind of feminine and fun. They've got the little kind of like bows on them. All right, and then this is like a journal. It's a daily mindfulness and a guided journal. And I know the first several weeks, you're probably not going to get to this, but down the road, when you're comfortable, when you're settled in, when you've healed up a little bit more, this is something that you could work on. And I'm just going to turn it to one of the pages. Basically here, again, it's about self-care, care for yourself. There's a section here, 6 self-care actions. Here's one, a personal check-in page, express yourself in this open space just for you. I think this is just awesome. So hopefully this will benefit you. All right, last but not least, the book, okay? You are a f***ing awesome mom. I just recently finished this book, and it's by Leslie Ann Bruce. She's on Instagram, look her up. It's funny, one of my dude friends actually gave this to me for Christmas last year. And to be honest, I wish I read it before I had kids. I really do, because it touches on so many important things that I wish I would have known before having babies. And she obviously goes into a lot of detail of like her own experience with having a baby, her struggles. She went through some pretty tough stuff. Like many of us moms do. And she addresses the mental health part of having babies. That's so important. Obviously, there's a bunch of tips and everything in here too, tips and tricks for things. But she also talks about just not like the mom guilt aspect of things, which I never even thought of until it happened to me. But this is just full of good stuff. It's an easy read. It's funny. She's definitely can cuss every once in a while, so be prepared for that. But it's really just like raw and emotional. I cried like definitely a few times throughout this book, but it's just like the real deal. She just goes into the real deal of what it's like being a mom and taking care of a newborn and all of the changes that come with it, and all of the joys too at the same time. So anyway, I hope that you guys will get something out of this too. And if you don't win this, go out and buy the book. That is it. I'm super excited. If you have any questions, please let me know down below. But with that, thank you for coming by. If you are, again, having a baby, congratulations. I'm so excited for you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you got a little something out of it. So with that, I'll let you go. Take care, have a great day, stay healthy, stay safe, and I will see you again in the next video. All right, bye.